We've got a Raspberry Pi with a Mosquito broker attached to the network and an ESP32 that's publishing packets to that broker. We also created code last week to make a subscriber out of a second ESP32. It can listen to packets and receive them, but that code's half-baked. We're going to fix it now. When you go to MQTT Explorer, you can see our publisher is still actively sending packets to the broker. I'm going to pull down the code we stopped with last week. Whether you're doing this in Platform IO or Arduino IDE, make sure you have the PubSubClient library pulled down. You see that in main, it asks for a credentials.h. We've got a credentials template. I'm going to change that to a credentials.h so that main can find it. Then we've got to give it its credentials. The SSID and password we need are the ones that belong to your router. The Raspberry Pi's IP address will be the MQTT host, and the port that Mosquito is using will be our MQTT port. I'll fill out these values accordingly, but we'll enter the password off screen and then save. We can plug in the ESP32, compile, and this thing's going to subscribe to and listen to the topic temperature. And you see it's receiving those packets that the first ESP32 is publishing. I want to go to the actual PubSubClient library to talk about the way it's set up. And by the way, you notice that Google's picked up my videos when you search on this. That's kind of nice. If you go to examples and the basic example, it's all in one file. Although this works, the whole basis for my MQTT videos is that you've got to write libraries where device-specific decisions are made outside of the library. Anyway, let's see what we have here. In this example, if you come all the way down to loop, you see a reconnect function. In reconnect, every time we connect, we resubscribe. We subscribe each time. But before that, you're in setup, you set a callback which tells the library which function to call when a message does come in. Going over to my code, it's already slightly different. We've got a subscribe to all function that subscribes to everything in a subscription list, which is given by a set subscription function that's called from the outside. Here in our device-specific library, we set the subscriptions with the list that we create here, so the decision is made outside the library. That's not the case currently for the message handler. The message handler is defined in the library, and then in our setup function that's called by main, we set it as the callback. We don't want to do this. This is the last step in setting up your MQTT library. The message handler should be defined outside of your library. The reason is you want your MQTT library to be the same experience across all of your projects. However, the message handler is going to be different across all of your projects. So you need some way to define that for each project and inject it into the library so it can do its work. Setting this up does require some upfront investment, but it gives you a more elegant experience across all your projects. And in the end, there's going to be a little bit of magic. There's something you need to think about every time you set up your MQTT connection. We're going to take that thing and package it up in your library, so you never need to think about it again as you're setting up your different projects. Yes, when you're setting up your projects, for Wi-Fi and MQTT, certain aspects of that are going to be standardized, the same across all your projects, like your Wi-Fi and MQTT connections. But when you start to bring in sensors and build other device-specific logic that uses MQTT, you now have code that's going to be different across all your projects, so it can't be in your library, which you want to be the same all the time. You need to develop some mechanisms to inject device-specific logic into your immutable MQTT library. So we'll start doing that right now. I'll pull the message handler out of the library, comment out the set callback, and put our message handler into main. From there, we'll figure out how to get it back into the library. I'll create a new function to expose that existing set callback function. This function is going to take a fairly complex format. We have a pointer to a void function that takes those three parameters that PubSubClient will give us when we receive a message. Let's make a new module MQTT handle to contain this implementation. We always start by bringing in MQTT.h, and then I'll create this set callback function. It's looking to be given a function that matches the format of our message handler. In this case, we have to actually give it a name so that value can be used in the function. We'll call it handler. Now you notice here we're calling MQTT client instead of MQTT. PubSubClient is introduced as the MQTT client within the library, but we also separately create an MQTT object and we extern it in the header file, and that contains the class and all the methods in the class. So when you see MQTT on the outside, we're calling the methods of the class. When you see Wi-Fi client inside the library, that's when we're actually directly calling PubSubClient, where it is hidden from the outside world. So now we call MQTT set callback with the message handler. That will be given to PubSubClient. We compile and it now works. This is a little bit much to handle, and we're doing it in two different places. So one opportunity is to create a type def, a custom type definition that we can use inside our code. Again, with this unusual syntax, we're creating something called message handler, which is a pointer to a void function that takes those parameters. But once we've defined that, we can now say that the set callback is prototyped to receive a message handler. And in the actual implementation, we can name that message handler as handler. This gives us the exact same result, so when we compile, it works. I found out while making this video that there's actually a newer, more elegant way of creating a type def. It's called the using directive. Using the line above as a template, we can now create using message handler equals that void function pointer that takes the same parameters. I'll comment out the type dev above, and it still works because this using gives us the same thing. Right now our message handler is in main. Let me show you that we can move this to our device specific code and it still works. The idea is the way we're setting up our MQTT library, these different functions are portable so long as you're importing MQTT.h. We're calling device begin in main. So if we put the set callback function in begin, it will be called indirectly from main. We compile, and we're still working. So far, our message handler has been exposed to the global scope. We don't need to do this. We can put it inside the actual class, but you need to make it static. So what that means is it'll be a member of the class, but it won't be a member of any instance of the class. So if we now prototype that function with a static declaration and then modify our implementation to include it with the class, it will still work. I'll bring it down below. It's sort of subordinate to those first two functions. Now, a little side note, do you see this byte? This is a type that is defined by Arduino.h, and this exact module doesn't have exposure to Arduino.h, so we have to include it to make that work. Once we do that, we compile, and our program is still working. Now it's time for the cool part. I'm going to be taking a bunch of different steps that won't make sense until everything's complete and it all ties together, so bear with me. I'm going to create a message handler type pointer stored handler where we will now store our message handler rather than set it as a callback. We are going to set our callback in two steps. The first step is from the outside, you give the class the handler, which is then stored. Let me jump ahead and create a callback wrapper. This is just a function that can be called to call another function. This wrapper, you notice, takes the same parameters that are given when an MQTT message comes in. And what we're going to do is call that stored handler. If we set our callback to the callback wrapper, it means that we give the library function, which is stored. The library then says, call the callback wrapper when a message comes in, and the callback wrapper will call that function that was stored. So this will do the exact same thing. We need to prototype our new callback wrapper. And by the way, just like we did before, this needs to be static. It can be a member of the class, but it cannot be a member of the MQTT instance. Because it's not a member, we then have to add MQTT dot to the beginning. When you compile, it's still working. More complex, but doing the same thing. I feel like I need to talk with my hands right now. This is the part where I said we're going to add a bunch of complexity, and I'm afraid you're going to look and say, this is too much, I don't need this. But we're right at the point where everything's about to flip, the complexity is going to collapse, and you're going to have a simpler function that you can use to set your message handler each time. Remember that in our message handler, we're actually taking this payload and length and then transforming it into a message we can use. This is not hardcore transformation, but you have to remember that every time you're doing something with MQTT, I'm going to paste that logic into our callback wrapper. So our callback wrapper now has a topic and message. If we call our stored handler with that, the parameters need to match. The parameters are set by our using directive. So I will change that to 2 character buffers. And then in our device specific code, we can change our function to just receive those 2 character buffers. We update the prototype in the header as well. And now our message handler only needs to care about topic and message, and we no longer have to do that transformation anymore. Got a failure here? You saw before I added MQTT dot and it's not there now. I don't know why. I'll just put it back and we are working. This library is complete. Let us wrap it up. We've put an awful lot into our header file here. I want to rearrange and give some labels for the different things we've added. So you can see we have connect, publish, subscribe, handle, and logging. And then privately, we still have connect, publish, subscribe, handle, logging. So you can kind of review the logic for each individual topic. I'll do some additional housekeeping, and then we are posted to GitHub. That's all for this video and for this year. Next week, I'm going to publish a video I actually made 5 years ago, an IoT project for my sister's family. It even required a visit to Domino's Pizza for research. Going into next year, I will wrap up all these MQTT videos into a single video, your next level MQTT library that you can use in your projects. After that, we're getting into straight up IoT, meaning talking to other devices, maybe Raspberry Pis and applications in the cloud. We'll keep going from there. Again, subscribe if you're interested. I'm Larry. Have a good Christmas and New Year. I'll see you in 2026.